Welcome to the Morning English Podcast. Listen, learn, and speak English daily.
Hello, English learners, and welcome to our podcast. My name is Emma, and we are so happy that you are here with us today.
And I'm Mark. Yes, welcome everyone. It's wonderful to have you here with us today.
We really want you to feel like you're just sitting down in a cozy living room with two good friends. Pull up a comfortable chair, maybe grab a cup of coffee or some tea.
Oh, definitely. A huge cup of coffee for me today.
Right. Consider this a completely relaxed, zero-pressure place to learn real English. You really don't need a textbook today. You just need to listen, relax, and join our conversation.
Because learning a language should feel good. We're all on this journey together. And speaking of real life, I actually have to confess something right at the beginning here.
Oh boy, what happened?
Well, I had an incredibly stressful morning today. I was running so late that I almost missed our recording time.
Oh no, really? Because usually you are like the most punctual person I know. Did your alarm clock fail you?
I really wish I could blame technology. I really do. But no, the alarm went off perfectly. The problem was entirely me.
Okay, I have to hear this.
So I spent 10 solid minutes running around my apartment in an absolute panic, just looking for my house keys. I checked my jacket pockets 3 times. I checked the kitchen counter. I dug under the sofa cushions.
Oh, the classic sofa cushion dig?
Exactly. I even looked inside the refrigerator.
The refrigerator. Okay, you were truly desperate. The brain does funny things when it panics. So where were they finally hiding?
You are going to laugh at me. They were at the bottom of a grocery bag from last night.
No way.
Yes, I had walked through the door after a long day, put the bag on a chair, just dropped my keys inside it without thinking, and completely forgot.
Oh, that is such a frustrating feeling. You basically created a scavenger hunt for yourself, and the only prize at the end was, well, high blood pressure and being late for work.
That is the absolute perfect way to describe it. But honestly, as I was driving here, it really got me thinking. Because we're exploring a fascinating topic today, which is, why does one small, unfinished action from the night before turn the entire next morning into an absolute emergency?
That is so true.
Right. I hadn't even stepped outside my home yet, and I already felt stressed, angry, and way behind schedule.
That is a brilliant question to kick us off. Today, listeners, we are diving deep into the small habits that can actually change your life. And to be clear, we do not mean that those dramatic habits like waking up at 4 in the morning.
Oh, please no.
Right. Taking freezing cold showers and running a marathon before breakfast.
I absolutely do not have the energy to change my entire personality by Monday morning.
None of us do. We are talking about tiny, invisible actions, things that take maybe 10 seconds that make your everyday life and your English learning journey so much easier.
Exactly. Just 10 seconds.
But before we really get going, if you want to support this cozy learning space, please take 1 second to like, subscribe, and share this deep dive with just one friend who is also learning English. It really helps us reach more learners like you.
So let's unpack that situation with my missing keys. Because what happened to me is a perfect example of struggling with what psychologists call a transition moment.
A transition. Okay, let's make sure that concept is totally clear for everyone listening. A transition is simply a bridge.
Right, a bridge.
It is the time when you change from one state or one activity to another. So waking up from sleep to being awake is a transition.
Yeah.
Finishing your workday and starting your evening is a transition. And of course, arriving back home is a major transition.
The human brain actually treats those moments like finishing a chapter in a book. My big mistake yesterday was that I walked into my home, but I never officially finished the transition.
What do you mean by that?
Well, my groceries, my keys, my work bags, they were all just abandoned in random places. By leaving those things unsettled, it was like I left my apartment as one long, unfinished sentence.
Oh, I love that image. An unfinished sentence. It leaves an open loop in your brain so you can't ever fully relax. So if we want to close that loop, what is the 10-second solution?
The solution is creating a physical finish line. The moment I walk in, I need to place my keys in a specific bowl on the table and hang my bag on a hook. That's the finish line.
Right, making it a routine.
Exactly. But to remember to do that when I'm exhausted, I need to build a cue.
Okay, let's focus on that word. Cue. C-U-E. Listeners, a cue is a trigger. It is a signal that automatically reminds you to do an action.
Perfect definition.
Like when a traffic light turns red, that is a visual cue to press the brake pedal. You don't even think about it. So what would be a good cue for your keys?
For me, it's touching the front door handle from the inside. When my hand touches that metal handle to close the door, that physical feeling is the signal to my brain the day is done. Put the keys in the bowl.
Listeners, try saying that word out loud with us right now. Cue.
Cue.
It's a tiny signal that begins a helpful habit. And while dropping your keys in a bowl takes maybe 10 seconds, the peace of mind it creates for tomorrow is huge. But you really have to do it immediately because I always warn people the living room couch is an excellent salesperson.
Oh, I see what you mean. If I walk in the door, sigh, and sit down on the couch before I finish putting my things away, the couch wins.
The couch always wins. It will sell you comfort, whispers. Just sit for a minute, relax. You can put the keys away later.
That later never comes.
Exactly. We all know you will never get back up to organize your things. You have to push through the transition before you let yourself sit down.
It's basically about protecting your future self.
Yeah.
I mean, the 10 seconds I spend on Tuesday evening completely protects my mood on Wednesday morning.
So, if closing the evening transition properly protects the start of the next day, it makes me wonder about our mornings.
Yeah, mornings can be tough.
They really can. Even with my keys in the right place, I sometimes wake up feeling rushed and stressed. How do we build a good morning transition?
This is where the modern world really traps us. Think about the very first physical action you take when you open your eyes.
Oh, I know where this is going.
For years, before I even put my feet on the floor, I would reach for my phone on the bedside table. I would open work emails, check the news, look at social media, all while half asleep in the dark.
Which is incredibly common. I mean, if we asked our listeners right now, I bet a vast majority do the exact same thing. We use our phones as alarm clocks, so it's already in our hand.
It is common, yeah, but it can be really damaging. Let me tell you about a morning where this went terribly wrong for me.
I am all ears.
So I wake up, grab my phone, and saw a completely polite message from a colleague. It simply said, "Can we discuss the project numbers later?"
That sounds harmless.
Right. But my tired morning brain panicked. I immediately thought, oh no, I did the math wrong. The project is ruined. My boss is going to yell at me.
Oh my goodness. Your brain invented a whole dramatic movie where you get fired, all before you even had a sip of water or brushed your teeth.
Exactly. Because I was reacting to other people's emergencies before I was actually awake. I was just living on autopilot.
Ah, that is a fantastic term for our learners. Autopilot. Originally, it means the computer system that flies an airplane without the pilot touching the controls. But in everyday English, doing something on autopilot means doing it automatically, without thinking, usually because of a habit.
Yes.
Listeners, think about driving a familiar route home and suddenly realizing you don't remember the last 5 minutes of the drive. That is being on autopilot.
We check our screens on autopilot. So the opposite of that is being intentional.
Intentional.
Yeah. When you are intentional, you choose an action for a clear, conscious reason. You are driving the plane, not the computer.
But let me challenge this a bit. Our phones connect us to our families, they have the weather forecast, they have our schedules. We can't just pretend they don't exist.
That's a fair point.
So are you saying looking at a screen in the morning is inherently bad?
Not at all. The device itself is completely neutral. The problem isn't the phone. The problem is the lack of a buffer.
A buffer.
Yes. A buffer is a space or a cushion that protects you. I needed a buffer between waking up and letting the stress of the whole world into my bedroom.
So what do you do now?
Now, I try to do just one tiny, intentional action first. I stand up and open the window to feel the fresh air, or I drink a full glass of water, or I write one single sentence on a piece of paper about what my main goal is today.
Oh, I love that.
Just one intentional thing before the screen turns on.
That makes perfect sense. By doing that, you remind your brain that you are in control of your day, not the inbox.
Okay, so we've mastered the morning, we are intentional, we're feeling great, working hard, but then the clock hits 3 in the afternoon.
Ah, yes, the famous afternoon crash. The battery just runs out.
Yes. Let's talk about why this happens. You are sitting at your desk, and suddenly you realize you have read the same simple English paragraph 3 times, and your brain just refuses to understand the words.
Or you accidentally type a grocery list into a professional work document.
Exactly. It is a terrible feeling. We call that feeling sluggish.
Sluggish.
That is a wonderful descriptive word for our listeners. Sluggish comes from the word slug. You know, that slow little creature in the garden without a shell.
Right, the really slow one. Yes. When you feel sluggish, your body feels heavy, your mind is slow, and you have zero energy. Try saying it with us, everyone. Sluggish.
Notice how the word itself even sounds slow and heavy. Sluggish.
Totally. So when we hit that sluggish wall at 3 p.m., our normal instinct is just to drink a giant cup of coffee and stare harder at the computer screen.
Which never actually works.
Yeah, it doesn't fix the brain fog. We need a physical way to shake off that tiredness.
To shake off.
Yes, to shake off means to physically move in order to release an unpleasant feeling, like a dog shaking off water after a bath.
So how do you practically shake off that afternoon sluggishness without, just abandoning your job and going to sleep?
I use what I call the 60-second movement reset.
Okay.
It sounds almost too basic, but it changes everything. When I catch myself reading the same sentence twice, I immediately stand up. I roll my shoulders backward 3 times, I walk over to a window, and I take 3 deep, slow breaths.
Wait, I have to stop you there. Standing up and breathing for 60 seconds, does that really count as a reset?
It does.
Because it sounds like you were just avoiding work for a minute.
I know it sounds too easy. But the goal isn't to get a physical workout. The goal is a mental boundary. Our brains get sluggish because we leave too many tabs open in our mental internet browser.
Oh, that's a great way to think about it.
Right. Every task we did earlier in the day is still running in the background, draining our battery. Standing up and breathing acts as a signal to close those old tabs. In fact, I use a specific phrase, and I want all our listeners to practice it out loud with us right now.
I'm ready.
Ready? Say it with us. The task is finished. This is a new moment.
Let me try that. The task is finished. This is a new moment. Wow. Even just saying it right now makes me feel like I can take a deeper breath.
See? It tells your brain it is allowed to let go of the past 3 hours.
That's incredibly helpful. But let's be honest about the reality of learning something new. Even with a fresh, reset mind, sitting down to do hard work like studying English grammar can feel incredibly difficult.
Tell me about it. This is probably the #1 struggle for language learners.
I remember a few weeks ago, I had a completely free evening. I felt totally motivated. I decided, tonight, I am going to practice for an hour.
Good for you.
Well, wait. When I sat at my desk, I couldn't find my headphones. They were buried under a mountain of old mail.
I can see exactly where the story is going.
It gets worse. I spent 5 minutes digging for the headphones. When I finally found them, the battery was completely dead.
Oh, no.
So then I went to look for my notebook, and it wasn't on the shelf. After 12 minutes of searching, getting tangled in wires, and just feeling so frustrated, my motivation completely vanished.
I don't blame you.
I gave up and just watched television. I didn't practice a single word.
And what's tragic is that in situations like that, we always blame ourselves. We look in the mirror and say, oh, I'm just lazy. I have no discipline. I'm a bad student.
Yes,
Good.
that's exactly what I told myself.
But that isn't fair at all. The problem isn't your character. The problem is friction.
Friction. That is a vital concept for anyone trying to build a habit.
Can you explain it for our learners?
Sure. In science, friction is the resistance when two things rub together. But in daily life, friction means any small obstacle, annoyance, or extra step that makes an action harder to begin.
Right.
A dead battery is friction. A messy desk is friction.
Yes. Our brains are biologically wired to conserve energy. If your environment requires you to spend 15 minutes hunting for supplies before you even start studying, your brain will choose the easier option, which is the television.
Every single time.
So if you want to succeed, you must remove the friction ahead of time. You have to prepare the first step before you even need to take it.
So instead of storing my English notebook in a drawer across the room, I should leave it wide open on the desk with a pen sitting right on top of it.
Absolutely. Make the right choice the easiest choice in the room. And here is an advanced trick. Connect your new habit to an anchor habit you already do automatically.
An anchor habit. Give me an example.
Okay, for example, every single night you plug your phone into the charger before bed. Right. You never forget to do that.
Right. That is completely automatic.
So make the phone charger your cue. When you plug in your phone, force yourself to plug in your headphones right next to it. You are using the momentum of an old habit to build a new one.
And you eliminate the dead battery friction for tomorrow.
Exactly.
That is such a clever strategy. And, once our listeners have removed the friction and actually sit down to practice, I have a tip to remove the mental friction of learning itself.
Oh, share it.
A lot of learners try to memorize long lists of vocabulary, which is just exhausting. Instead, try this. Pick just one useful sentence structure you learned today.
Just one sentence for the whole study session.
Just one. But the magic is in how you use it. You take that one sentence and you alter the time, the subject, or the context
Yeah.
to make it completely true for your real life.
Yeah.
Let's practice this.
Earlier, we used the phrase, I was checking my phone on autopilot.
Okay, so if I want to personalize that, I could change the context and say, I opened the refrigerator on autopilot, even though I just ate dinner.
Or I could change the tense to talk about my habits. I usually scroll through social media on autopilot when I feel bored at the bus stop.
Yes. By transforming the sentence to fit your actual life, you stop passively reading someone else's English and you start actively building your own. The brain remembers it because it now has personal meaning.
It becomes your story, not a textbook's story. That is beautiful. And we've talked a lot about protecting our time and our goals. But these small habit changes are also essential for protecting our relationships.
This might be the most important part of our conversation today, honestly. Let's talk about the heavy guilt of losing touch with a friend. We call this emotional friction.
Emotional friction.
Yeah. I have an old friend named Maya from university. I kept telling myself, I need to message Maya. But work was busy, so weeks passed. Then a couple of months passed.
And the strange thing is, the longer you wait, the harder it becomes to just say hello, doesn't it?
It becomes incredibly hard. Because so much time had passed, my brain convinced me that a simple hello wasn't enough anymore. I felt like I owed her a massive formal apology essay explaining exactly why I had been silent for 3 months.
Oh, I've been there.
And because writing a massive essay is exhausting, I just chose to write nothing at all.
That is emotional friction. We build a wall out of our own guilt. How did you finally break through that?
I decided to lower the stakes and just reach out.
Reach out?
Yes, to reach out is a great phrasal verb, meaning to contact someone to check on them or connect. Instead of an apology essay, I just sent one honest, short text when she popped into my head.
How did you say?
I wrote, "Hey, I just walked past that old bookstore we used to visit, and it made me smile thinking of you. Hope you've been well."
I am sure she was thrilled. I mean, she didn't demand an apology for the last 3 months, did she?
Not at all. She replied 10 minutes later with a picture of her dog and said she was so happy to hear from me.
It is a beautiful habit. Just send the short, honest text the moment they cross your mind. Don't wait. But I will say, once they reply, you have a responsibility to keep the conversation going. And that requires knowing how to ask a good follow-up question.
Follow up.
Yes, to follow up means to ask for more specific information after someone gives you their first answer.
This is a crucial communication skill.
Uh.
Let's do a quick role play for the listeners to demonstrate terrible follow-up skills.
Oh, this will be fun.
You tell me a minor problem you had today, and I'll show you what a conversation killer looks like. Ready?
I'm ready. Okay, oh man, my morning was awful. My new puppy completely chewed up my favorite left shoe.
Oh, are you enjoying it so far?
What? No! I am not enjoying my dog eating my shoe. That proves you weren't listening to a single word I said.
I know it sounds absurd when we do it like that,
Yeah.
but people do this all the time.
They really do.
They use a generic robotic response like, "Oh, that's crazy," or "Wow, cool," instead of actually engaging with the story.
A genuine follow-up question proves you are present. If a friend says their dog ate their shoe, you could ask, "Oh no, did you have to wear 2 different shoes to work?" Or what kind of shoe was it?
Right.
Those questions show you care about the details, which makes the other person feel valued.
Genuine follow-up questions are relationship magic.
Yeah.
But let's talk about the dark side of communication.
The dark side.
Yeah. What happens when someone sends you a message that isn't friendly? What if an email makes you instantly angry or stressed?
Oh, this is a danger zone. It happens in the workplace constantly. Just last week, actually, I opened an email from my manager.
Oh, no.
She pointed out that some vital financial numbers were missing from my weekly report. The moment I read it, my body reacted before my brain did. My shoulders tightened up, my heart rate increased, and I immediately started aggressively typing a reply to defend myself and make excuses.
Oh, you were in full survival defense mode.
I really was. But right before my finger hit the send button, I forced myself to physically step back. I stood up, walked to the kitchen, got a glass of cold water, and took a deep breath.
Good for you.
Thanks. When I sat back down and reread her email without the panic, I realized she was completely right. I had forgotten to attach the spreadsheet.
Wow. That 1-minute pause saved you from sending an embarrassing defensive email to your boss.
It really did. A simple pause turns a defensive emotional reaction into a calm, logical response. And more importantly, that pause stops the stress from spilling over.
Spilling over. Let's explain that.
When a liquid spills over, it escapes its container and makes a mess. When an emotion spills over, it means the stress from one situation leaks into a completely different part of your life, like bringing your anger from a work email to the dinner table with your family.
We absolutely have to contain the spillover. And, forcing a pause doesn't just save your reputation at work. It can literally save your bank account, too.
Oh, how does a pause save money?
Well, the other night I was feeling stressed about my health, and I suddenly got a massive impulse to go online shopping.
An impulse. Listeners, an impulse is a sudden, powerful urge to do something right now without thinking about the consequences.
Exactly. It was midnight, and I almost bought a $2,000 piece of indoor exercise equipment.
Oh my gosh. At midnight. Did you actually click purchase?
I had my credit card out, and the item was in the cart. But then I realized I was just reacting to an emotional impulse. I told myself, close the laptop, sleep on it.
Sleep on it. Listeners, write this idiom down. To sleep on it means to delay making a major decision until the next day, giving your brain time to rest and think clearly. Try saying it. Sleep on it.
So I slipped on it.
Yeah.
And the next morning, drinking coffee in the daylight, I looked around my small apartment and realized that giant machine wouldn't even fit through my door.
You're kidding.
Nope. I didn't actually want the metal machine. I wanted the imagined version of myself. The version of me who naturally wakes up at 5 in the morning and loves lifting weights.
Oh, I totally get that.
Closing that laptop saved me thousands of dollars.
That is so profound. We frequently buy things for the imagined perfect version of ourselves rather than the real us. So we've walked through the entire day. We've talked about waking up, working, connecting with friends, and pausing our impulses.
It's been quite a journey.
It has. To bring this full circle, how do we end the day with peace?
Well, it's common to reach the end of the day and let one unfinished task like an email you didn't send convince you that the entire day was a failure. You just lie in the dark feeling guilty.
The bad moments always shout much louder than the quiet victories, don't they?
They do.
Yeah.
So to combat that, I have started doing a simple 3-sentence reflection right before I close my eyes.
3 sentences.
Yeah. It forces me to look at the day with actual evidence rather than loud emotions. I say one thing I moved forward, one thing I appreciated, and one thing I am intentionally leaving for tomorrow.
That is a beautiful habit. Saying, I am intentionally leaving this for tomorrow, gives your brain permission to stop worrying about it. It puts a closed door between today and tomorrow.
Exactly. Tiny habits at these key transition moments truly act as a shield, protecting the next chapter of your day.
We have covered so much ground today. Let's do a quick recap of the fantastic everyday vocabulary we learned. Listeners, see if you can remember the meanings.
Let's do it.
We talked about how checking our phones without thinking means we are living on autopilot, and why we should try to be intentional instead.
We discussed that heavy, slow feeling in the afternoon called being sluggish, and how a 60-second physical reset can help us shake off that tiredness.
We explored how environmental obstacles, which we call friction, stop us from studying English, and how to use a physical cue to trigger a better habit.
We talked about breaking through guilt to reach out to an old friend, and how asking a specific follow-up question shows that you are truly listening.
And finally, we learned the power of pausing so our work stress doesn't spill over into our personal lives. And when we feel a midnight shopping impulse, the best choice is always to sleep on it.
That is an incredibly rich list of everyday, natural English.
It really is. To finish our time together today, we have a small speaking challenge for you, the listener. We want you to practice this sentence pattern out loud, wherever you are right now. Ready? The transition I want to improve is blank. My small action is blank. This will make tomorrow easier.
Let me give an example. The transition I want to improve is waking up. My small action is drinking a full glass of water first. This will make tomorrow easier.
Please try saying that out loud, filling in the blanks with your own real life. And if you are able to, share your answers in the comments. We absolutely love reading how you apply these lessons.
Learning a language is a marathon, not a sprint. Please remember to practice just a little bit of English every day, remove the friction from your desk, and most importantly, be patient and kind with yourself.
You are doing a wonderful job. And hey, if our friend here loses his keys in a grocery bag again tomorrow morning, well, we will definitely have plenty of material for our next conversation.
Very funny. But it is a good reminder. Your life isn't transformed by some massive, exhausting plan on Monday morning. It is transformed tonight, just by taking 10 seconds to put your keys in the bowl.
Such a powerful, practical thought to end on. Thank you so much for sitting down with us today, friends. Keep practicing, keep protecting your transitions, and we will see you next time.
Goodbye, everyone. Have a wonderful day.